Some latest news coming in, and the former Union Minister and veteran Congress leader Mani Shankar Aiyar has stoked a row and described the former Prime Minister under the Congress government, PM Narasimha Rao, as the first BJP Prime Minister of India. That's the word really coming in. There has always been some kind of controversy, the manner in which PM Narasimha Rao was treated by the Congress party. That legacy, that history is debated and contested. And now Mani Shankar Aiyar calling him the BJP Prime Minister of India. Pallavi with us on the broadcast. Pallavi, give us more details, more importantly, the context of the statement.
So yesterday there was a book released, Aiyar's new book, and in that he made these controversial comments. In fact, it's a part of the about the legacy of many of the Indian Prime Ministers. He talks about PM Narasimha Rao being the truly first BJP Prime Minister. The reason is very simple, that Mani Shankar Aiyar close to Rajiv Gandhi, and the Gandhi family has never ever been very fond of PM Narasimha Rao because he has often been accused of overstepping the importance of the Gandhi family. And Mani Shankar Aiyar has always been one of the blue-eyed boys as far as Rajiv Gandhi is concerned. In that context, he calls him as a leaning towards the BJP rather than understanding what the Gandhi or the Congress ideology or the Congress philosophy is all about. And just to add on to the point which you made a short while back, the fact remains is that as far as PM Narasimha Rao is concerned, he was never owned up by the Congress party, and they faced a lot of criticism over it, including the Prime Minister and BJP making the point. PM Narasimha Rao's mortal remains, I remember his dead body was not even taken inside the Congress headquarters so that the party leaders could give a tribute to him. It was kept just outside the main gate, and that is the kind of distancing which the party has maintained, which is an irony because Dr. Manmohan Singh has always publicly acknowledged PM Narasimha Rao as his political and economic guru.
Political and economic guru. As I read through some statements and some details that have emerged, Mani Shankar Aiyar also talks about the definition of secularism that PM Narasimha Rao really believed in. Secularism, was that the line that divided many within the Congress party?
Well, the interesting part is that many within the Congress party doubted the secular credentials of PM Narasimha Rao. Yeah. We also need to understand the Babri Masjid controversy, where the Babri Masjid collapsed. In that, there were fingers often pointed at PM Narasimha Rao as well. In fact, another very controversial point he makes in the book is when he said that Rajiv Gandhi made a mistake when he did that Shilanyas. And this is a criticism has been pointed at Rajiv Gandhi for unlocking the gates of the Babri Masjid / Ayodhya temple as it stands today. So these are certain controversial comments coming in from Mani Shankar Aiyar in his latest book.
Mr. R.P. Singh is joining us on the broadcast, getting us more details and his perspective on his story. Mr. Singh, good afternoon. Thank you so much for speaking with us. We have Mr. Mani Shankar Aiyar, who has called PM Narasimha Rao the first BJP Prime Minister of India. How do you see those comments?
Well, that's the real DNA of the Congress. Congress leaders can't see beyond dynasty. For them, the Gandhi is only who can run this country or who are entitled to run this country, and that's why they keep using such things, such words even for the former Prime Minister of the country, or the Congress Prime Minister. And I remember after his death, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi didn't allow his body to be kept in the party office for the last respect the congressman wanted to pay to him. But that's Congress is. I mean, they for them, Lal Bahadur Shastri is not the Prime Minister of the Congress party, from the Congress party. Neither is Narasimha Rao ji, because for them it's Nehru, Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi, and that's all. It ends here, or for their they don't even acknowledge Manmohan Singh as the Prime Minister of the Congress party, because it ultimately comes down to only the family itself.
So, a lot is also being talked about the definition of secularism, the kind of stand that PM Narasimha Rao had over the Yatra or the Ram Janmabhoomi dispute that was at its peak at some point in time. My colleague Pallavi was also talking about how the mortal remains of PM Narasimha Rao were not given the kind of respect that they should have been given. Secularism and the definition of secularism and differences within the Congress, say with the likes of Mani Shankar Aiyar and various other leaders within the Congress, that seemed to be the dividing line.
Well, who is talking about secularism? Mr. Mani Shankar Aiyar has referred to 1984. And then in the recent book by Nitya Chaudhary, the How Do Prime Minister Decide, he has categorically stated that Arun Nehru has, and then how they use secularism when it suits them, and how they define secularism as per their dynasty-led, they can't think beyond dynasty, and then for them, it's dynasty which is the ruling dispensation. And also, just recently in the Supreme Court, in the lower court decision, Pramod Tiwari was on record saying that how can court give a such decision against the dynasty? How can such decision can be given against the Gandhi family?
Okay.
So this again shows that they don't even.
We'll try and get the Congress party also on this story, sir. But just looking at the past precedents and past instances as well, a lot of time the Congress party has not agreed with the likes of Mani Shankar Aiyar and has called it his personal opinion and not really taken that as the party line.
Well, but they have never ever distant from Mr. Aiyar. Mani Shankar Aiyar is still a respected member of their party. He's the same guy who went to Pakistan and seek the help of the Pakistan to dislodge Prime Minister Modi from here. He's the same guy who called Prime Minister Modi as Chaiwala or Neech Aadmi, but they have never distanced themselves from Mani Shankar Aiyar. He is still the respected member of their party. So, but it's the Congress who has to decide now whether Mr. Narasimha Rao was their Prime Minister or not. Let Mr. Rahul Gandhi answer this.
Let's see, sir. Let's see whether the Congress party officially takes a position on this or not. But Mr. R.P. Singh, always a pleasure to have you on the broadcast. I want to cut across once again back to our senior editor Pallavi, who is getting us all the perspective and details on this entire story. PM Narasimha Rao, who was the Prime Minister of India, there's a contested history and legacy that he has left behind, especially the differences that existed between PM Narasimha Rao and various other Congress leaders, or the official ideology of the Congress party that time, on various issues where secularism was the moot point. Ram Janmabhoomi dispute that time, which has been now settled by the Supreme Court, was one of the key points. I want to cut across once again back to Pallavi and get more details on this entire story. Pallavi, is it possible at all that, like various other instances that we've seen in the past, this is quote-unquote the personal opinion of Mr. Mani Shankar Aiyar and not really the official line of the Congress party?
It's not really the official line of the Congress party, but Mani Shankar Aiyar also draws his strength from the proximity that he has had as far as the Gandhi family is concerned. Books often trigger off a lot of controversy, and they also put you into a bit of a spot. And at this book release function, there were people who were also present there from the Congress party as a part of the audience. And I think this is something which will always be used by the BJP to keep on attacking the Congress party. And what we were discussing earlier is that the Prime Minister himself has attacked the Congress for not giving that importance to PM Narasimha Rao. Rajiv Gandhi's role as far as the entire Babri Masjid controversy is concerned has also often been raked up by the BJP as well. In fact, the genesis of the problem has been traced to Rajiv Gandhi, that why did he unlock the gates? So the anti-Hindu mentality of the Congress party, that is something which this incident is used of. So Mani Shankar's view will obviously be used as a political party by the BJP to attack the Congress.
Thank you, Pallavi, for putting that into perspective.